In case you're wondering, I don't have a problem. I'm fine. Everything's fine. And clearly, I've been working with Bluetti for some time. These are pretty much all the power banks they've sent me in the last couple of years, except for this one. This was the very first Bluetti that I ever owned that I bought with my own money. And with it being the holidays, there are two power banks they're wanting to promote, an older model and then one that they just came out with, and in another video that will basically compare both of them together. The past power banks we've reviewed on this channel before were more of the medium capacity, but I know that there are many of you who need a power bank that provides way more power than I've ever personally needed. So in this entire month of November, you're going to see me drop a 3-part video series on those two power banks and then comparing both of them together so that you can kind of decide if those are the kind of capacity power banks that you might personally want. And those two power banks are going to be this older AC200L and then this newer ELITE200 V2. These are going to be really short review videos, at most maybe 10 minutes. I don't really want to get into the nitty-gritty of the specs of each of these power banks. I just want to show you the capacities and the different ports that they offer. So let's kick off the series with the brand new one, the Bluetti ELITE200 V2. So this is the ELITE200 V2. When I say V2, version 2, because this is the upgrade to the AC200L. That's the other battery we'll be reviewing in the next video, and then we'll compare both of them together. But if you already own the AC200L, then you'll be really familiar. They made it smaller and a lot more powerful. And by powerful, I mean this thing is 2,600 watts and 2,073.6 watt hours. That's a lot. And if you don't know the difference between watts and watt hours, watts is how powerful this thing is, and watt hours is how long you can run this at that power. So think of watts as horsepower and think of watt hours as miles per gallon. I think that's the most simplest way to explain that, right? Now, this is basically in line with the rest of Bluetti's power banks. It looks exactly the same. It has that square shape, making it easy for you to put anywhere. And the ports are laid out in also the same areas. The only difference is the kind of ports that you're going to get. Starting up here on the left, you have your DC and PV input. This is for solar, or if you want to plug it into your vehicle and charge it up that way. Below that, you have a DC output. So any 12-volt sockets, you can put it in there. And this one is 12 volts, 10 amps. Right over here are your USBs. You get two USB-Cs now, thank God. And these are both USB-C at 100 watts. And then if you still have the older tech stuff, you do get two USB-As, and these are 15 watts. And then over on the right, you're going to get your pure sine wave AC outputs, combined 120 volts, 2,600 watts, with each of them maxing out at 20 amps. Now, as far as power buttons, your main power button is right in the middle. Press that and that'll turn the unit on. And it's your standard Bluetti display that we're all used to, especially if you've owned Bluetti products before. Right in the middle, it'll tell you the capacity that it's at. Right now it's at 70%. And at that rate of me not charging anything right now, this battery will last me about 99.9 hours. Over on the left, you have your DC input and output. So if you're charging this back up with a DC port, then you'll see how much is coming in, like if you charge it through here. And then right below that is your output. So if you're using any of these or this, that'll tell you how much is coming out. Over on the right are your AC input and output. So if you're charging this up at home with an AC plug, it'll tell you how much is coming in. And if you use any of these, it'll tell you how much is coming out. To utilize these DC ports, just press the DC button. The DC light will turn on, and now you can use any of these. If you want to use the AC ports, press the AC button, and then that'll turn on these ones. Right over here is your AC input. So if you want to charge this up with a wall outlet at home, that's where that goes. And then you also get your ground terminal here if you're the kind of person that likes to ground all of your power banks. I've never had to ground my power banks. I've never had any issues, but if that's what you want to kind of help protect this thing, you can definitely do that. And then right over here is the button for your circuit protector. Handles are built into the unit, which I absolutely love. You don't have to worry about handles breaking off or popping off while you're trying to transport it. You want it built in, especially because this does have some weight to it. There is no wireless charging, which really sucks because I love the wireless charging feature on Bluetti batteries. There is a sticker though that has a QR code, so you can scan that if you want to utilize the app to monitor this thing. You're going to get your documentation, and then you also get your charging cables. And this is important. All you're going to get are two cables, your AC plug, and then you're going to get your solar plug right here. It does not come with a DC charger for the vehicle. So if you want to plug this up to a 12-volt socket in your vehicle to charge it back up, you're not going to get that. They sell that separately along with some other combination of chargers. You're gonna have to figure out which one will work best for you if you want to charge this in your vehicle. Now, personally, I've never needed to recharge my power banks back up in the vehicle. I usually bring it on my trips at 100%, and it's enough to last me for the, I don't know, 4 to 5 days, and I've never needed to recharge it. 2600 watts, 2073 watt hours, that's a lot. The battery type is a lithium iron phosphate battery, which is much more efficient and much safer than the lithium ion. The weight of this is 53.35 pounds or 24.2 kilograms. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. The dimensions are 13.78 inches the long way, 12.74 inches tall, and about 9.84 inches deep. So who is this for? Well, this is for those of you who need that higher capacity power bank without having to sacrifice size. A lot of times when you get the larger power banks, you're dealing with a much bigger footprint, which takes up a lot more cargo. This is a lot more compact, but you're still getting the capacity, if not more, than some of the older model power banks. Now, I know that some of you out there own the Bluetti AC180, which is a 1800 watt power bank. So for those of you that are thinking, should I upgrade to this? I'm gonna give you, let's compare that to the 180. Not much bigger. If you wanted to get a higher capacity power bank for the same size that you're probably already used to with the 180, it's very minuscule how much bigger this is. So same kind of footprint. The only downside, this is much heavier. Like, I can lift this rather easily with 2 hands, whereas this, oh my God. So that's up to you. What's more important, capacity or weight? Because as far as size is concerned, they're pretty much the same. But that's pretty much it with the ELITE200 V2. I like that it's been upgraded with like USB-C ports and higher capacities and smaller size. I wish they had the wireless charging still. Please, Bluetti, put that back. For me, I'm very weight conscious with the Jeep. This might go in the 4Runner just because of the capacity it has and the size that it has. But stay tuned before you start making purchases, because next video that releases after this will be on the AC200L, and we can see if that's something that might be more fitted for you. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, if you found it somewhat informative, I know it was shorter than my usual videos, please make sure you don't smash, power up that like button, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so we can let you be aware of new videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at bsuburban4601. My name is Asia Sampson, and I'll see you in part 2.